Back in 2016, I think it was my friend Alexander Hamon and I started these long conversations, or if you want to call them interviews, with Bosnians like us who displaced due to the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina that happened in the beginning of the 90s. And the people ended up living all over the world. It only became an idea of a project around 2015-16, where also it was the time where this whole narrative and about migrants and migrants crisis and refugee crisis all over the world started really be very present in media, and in a really weird way, where we felt that, you know, it was doing lots of disservice to people who were running away from trouble and trying to find a better life elsewhere. Few people we knew from before, some my friend Sasha knew, some I knew, and then it was kind of friend of a friend of a friend. Obviously, everybody has a story, but not everybody is willing to talk about it, and because these conversations were really about the whole life, you know, since people were born and from the first memories till today. So it was a great experience, and now based on these stories, I approached them a little bit differently for this kind of environment, for a gallery, where I actually went back and listened to all these conversations, and as I was listening, I was transcribing them, and most of them were in Bosnian language. Some with a little bit of younger generation were in English, because most of the people we met were in the United States. So as I was transcribing these conversations, I would just actually transcribe the keywords rather than I would eliminate or ignore all the syntax and the narrative as such, and just use keywords. At the beginning, I didn't know why I was doing it. You know, it took a few years to all of that to develop into the work as it is. As a viewer who don't share that experience, when you actually read through it, you see these strange points where you can't really relate and understand. But then it goes back, you know, because these people eventually left Bosnia and they ended up everywhere. That, you know, the life continues, and then you look for jobs, and then you settle down, and you get kids, and so all of these, you know, keywords are in these texts. So as somebody who doesn't share that experience, at least that my hope is that you can easily relate, you know, to most of what's happening, and also I think the omission of syntax, what I was hoping will achieve, it basically gives the viewer or the reader space for imagination. All of these photos I took during these conversations. So sometimes they are photos of the environment where we were conversing, and sometimes it is of some old photographs that people were sharing with us, and sometimes it's of the people, but very just like the narratives are broken down, so are the images. You know, they are heavily cropped and reframed. So they all also relate to that moment of the conversation. They all come from that moment during that period of time that we were having these conversations. So that's in the background. I mean, I really don't even ask myself, what is this? Photographs, I don't really care. It is what it is. It's some text and some image on the paper. Categories don't really interest me that much in terms of which medium this is, and, you know, like, how does that fit into my practice? I like to use photography, but not necessarily to be like a photographic work and photographic show. So in this case, yeah, it's like they're all printed on a regular bond paper. They were folded and unfolded and then installed the way you see them in the gallery. I'm hoping that the way they are presented, you know, like minimize the voyeurism that lives like this are exposed to, you know, in settings like this and in places like this. And I think that that's also very important for me, and I imagine for them too.
C'est ainsi qu'ici, un problème fondamental surgit, pressant, presser le fer contre la surface à sa fonction propre. Quand on parle et qu'on nous parle, nous nous lissons et trouvons sens en dépit des plis, des trous, des limites du langage. Il s'agit de processus constructifs, le chaos et le flou gagnant en gravité, puis décantant jusqu'à cohérence. Je ne l'emporterai pas. Ne anticiperai la retenue. Se pourrait-il pas que cette rencontre avec l'autre te défasse? Sans ces sauts et ces pertes, il n'y aurait jamais d'histoire. Nous ne saurions jamais rassembler. Assez. Parler de manière convaincante d'eux et de leur là-bas. Toutes les omissions s'apparentent aux fantômes. Elles font les choses de manière invisible. Écoute attentivement. Elles sont partout. Ce ne sont pas seulement ces 29 années, ces corps perdus, mais aussi comment chaque souvenir est une résurrection. Toute histoire, un pacte construit entre le parlant et l'écoutant, impliquant un travail continu. Ici travaille différemment, ravale le spectaculaire et demande constamment pourquoi, qui, quoi, quand, et les gens se rapprocheront autant, qui elles t'échapperont. Nous partageons tous l'édification, les blocs d'une histoire, ce qui gêne, la dévoration à distance, vient plus près et ne bouge plus. Chaque mot est un miroir dans lequel ta propre histoire apparaît, comme l'étranger que tu ne connaîtras jamais entièrement. C'est dans les plis qu'il faut regarder, l'espace créé de nulle part aux confins, entre l'ici et l'ailleurs.